Looks like we got Loose Bandit lining up for the Texas Roller Girls against Primp Daddy for RCRG.
And both teams still fielding a full pack. Jam 3 of the game.
We've got 2 Rat City Roller Girls right now, 2-0 Texas Roller Girls with 27:48 left in this half. Primp Daddy having some trouble with Ruby Wing in the front. And Lucille Brawl. Primp Daddy able to get through, but she picked up a minor cut, so she is not a lead jammer.
Loose Bandit still being held up at the back by Carmen Getsom. Oh, Loose Bandit on the floor behind the pack, and Primp's coming around to start scoring. Primp picks up the Grand Slam point first by passing the opposing jammer, who's still on her first pass. Wiley and Cat Whip at the front, still holding up Loose Bandit. Loose Bandit's out now with lead. She's gonna go for points now. Primp's out of the pack. She picked up 5 points on her initial pass. Loose Bandit's coming around to try to match those points. And she's got a half-track lead on Primp Daddy, so she's looking for an opportunity to score points and at least match those points.
Wiley Peyote pushing Loose Bandit to the inside, forcing Loose Bandit to call off that jam, but she was able to pick up, looks like 2 points before she did. Score change at the last minute, 72-91 Texas Roller Girls trailing behind Rat City with 20 minutes and 22 seconds left in the second half.
And Olivia Shootin' finds the outside, and she's through the pack and picks up lead jammer. Meanwhile,
Primp Daddy having a whole bunch of trouble just getting knocked by Cracker Jack
at the back.
Yes.
Primp jumps around Cracker this time, but OSJ is at the back. She's ready to score, and she's scoring now.
And Primp Daddy having a hard time with Cracker Jack in that, I believe, B3 position.
Katarina Whip knocking Olivia Shootin' to the outside.
Wiley Peyote throws a huge shoulder into Olivia Shootin'. Shootin' just shakes it off like yesterday's laundry.
Carmen takes out Dilla at the front to let Primp out, but still Lucille Brell at the front for her to pass, but she doesn't. Now she's out. And Olivia Shootin' is at the pack scoring again. Wiley and Carmen run back together. OSJ calls the jam.
With Loose Bandit against Primp Daddy.
Seeing a lot of jamming from Primp Daddy tonight.
Seeing a lot of jamming from Loose Bandit too.
That's true. Fair enough. Seeing a lot of these jammers.
It's amazing the people that jam, they jam a lot, and
jamming is so hard, Mort.
I know.
It's really hard. Loose Bandit coming up now on Anarchist at the back of the pack, and Anarchist knocks her to the outside and stops hard, forcing her to re-engage, and they're about 20 feet behind the pack, hanging out.
Primp Daddy's going to have a whole 4 wall to contend with in the front with Corvette and Dilla providing a good front pack defense and just hammering her. Corvette, the last line of defense, lets Primp Daddy go.
Loose Bandit knocked way out.
Sorry, that was Dilla. My bad, last line of defense.
Loose Bandit coming up now on Wiley and Texas number 76 just jumped Wiley.
That's Corvette.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Primp Daddy's in the pack now. Loose Bandit is still working on her first pass. She has Katarina Whip still to beat, and Wiley Peyote is racing up to engage her also.
Rat City really pouring on the pack awareness and owning both the speed and the placement of the pack pretty well during this game.
But at the same time, Primp Daddy is having the same trouble that so many of the Rat City jammers have, which is meeting those defensive walls.
Whoa, we have a little jammer on jammer bump as
well, it was a cue ball move. Wiley Peyote took out the Texas jammer, but in so doing, the Texas jammer hit Primp, the Rat City jammer.
So sometimes you try to help and things don't necessarily work out exactly how you planned it.
Primp Daddy and Bloody Mary clowning on the jammer line also. Skaters are getting punchy. They're ready to play.
Yep. Looks like we're getting ready to play some more roller derby now. And now we are back in a 4-3 Rat City pack advantage. One Texas Roller Girl sitting in the box.
Bloody Mary coming up on a 3-wall of Rat City blockers. Primp looking for a line. Oh, and Primp picks up lead jammer. Bloody Mary still stuck behind Val. And Carmen gets up, moving up to try to nail Bloody Mary, but she's not quite in time. Bloody Mary's out now, trailing. And Primp is approaching the pack to score.
Bloody Mary heading towards the back of the pack as Primp Daddy calls off the jam, trying to hold her to no points, and she did succeed.
It was a 2-0 jam for Primp Daddy over Bloody Mary.
Against Lucille Brawl, I believe, again. Lucille Brawl did so good last time, they're going to put her out there again, which is great. And Carmen gets them doing some expected jammer on jammer defense, trying to wind down the clock and keep Rat City with their lead, but then she goes into the pack with Lucille Brawl trailing.
Carmen's meeting a 2-wall at the front of Texas blockers, and now she's out with lead jammer to the Rat City Roller Girls. Lucille Brawl now has just Primp Daddy ahead of her, but Reanimator, oh yeah, just Primp Daddy, and Lucille Brawl's out around her, and she's trailing Carmen by about half a lap. Carmen's approaching the pack now to score.
And Carmen Getsum is scoring through the pack right now as Texas brings their blockers up to join a 3-wall. Ruby Wing having her time with Carmen Getsum right now, and also Corvette.
Oh, Carmen stopped to play some defense against Lucille Brawl. And now both jammers are out. 4 points to Carmen Getsum and 4 points to Lucille Brawl. Carmen's coming around to score again. She's leading Lucille Brawl and speeding away from her.
Carmen Getsum not calling off the jam, hoping to wind down the clock, I think.
Or pick up more points.
Yep. Both jammers are in scoring position.
And Lucille Brawl is through the pack with 4 points. And Carmen is through the pack now, also with 4 points.
Rat City able to hold that at a 0-point differential, which is exactly what they need. It's now 102-125, Texas trailing behind with 2 minutes and 32 seconds left as Carmen Getsum continues on her strategy to wind down the clock rather than call the jam.
Well, Lucille Brawl has been knocked to the inside. She's re-entering behind the pack. Carmen's having a tough time, but she's scoring, both jammers in scoring position.
And she's got to get around Corvette. Nice to see Corvette back on the track after her injury.
A major was called at the very last moment on somebody. Bloody Mary and Jalapeno Business stepping to the jammer line.